Gandalf looked at him with wonder.
"That is strange, Thorin Oakenshield,"
he said.
"for I have thought of you also, and though I am on my way to the Shire, it was in my mind that is the way also to your homes. Call them so, if you will,"
said Thorin.
"They are only poor lodgings in exile, but you would be welcome there, if you would come, for they say that you are wise and know more than any other of what goes on in the world. And I have much on my mind, and will be glad of your counsel." "I will come," said Gandalf, "for I guess that we share one trouble at least. The dragon of Erebor is on my mind, and I do not think that he will be forgotten by the grandson of Thrall."
The story is told elsewhere of what came of that meeting, of the strange plan that Gandalf made for the help of Thorin, and how Thorin and his companions set out from the Shire on the quest of the lonely mountain that came to great ends unforeseen. Here only those things are recalled that directly concern Durin's folk. The dragon was slain by Bard of Esgaroth, but there was battle in Dale, for the orcs came down upon Erebor as soon as they heard of the return of the dwarves, and they were led by Bolg, son of that Azog, whom Dain slew in his youth. In that first battle of Dale, Thorin Oakenshield was mortally wounded, and he died and was laid in a tomb under the mountain with the Arkenstone upon his breast. There fell also Fili and Kili, his sister's sons, but Durin Ironfoot, his cousin, who came from the Iron Hills to his aid and was also his rightful heir, became then King Durin II, and the kingdom under the mountain was restored, even as Gandalf had desired. Durin proved a great and a wise king, and the dwarves prospered and grew strong again in his day. In the late summer of that same year, 2941, Gandalf had at last prevailed upon Saruman and the White Council to attack Dol-Guldur, and Sauron retreated and went to Mordor, there to be secure, as he thought, from all his enemies. So it was that when the war came at last, the main assault was turned southwards. Yet even so, with his far-stretched right hand, Sauron might have done great evil in the north, if King Dain and King Brant had not stood in his path, even as Gandalf said afterwards to Frodo and Gimli, when they dwelt together for a time in Minas Tirith, not long before news had come to Gondor of events far away.
"I grieved of the fall of Thorin,"
said Gandalf,
"and now we hear that Dain has fallen, fighting in Dale again, even while we fought here. I should call that a heavy loss, if it was not a wonder, rather, that in his great age he could still wield his axe, as mightily as they said that he did, standing over the body of King Bran, before the gate of Erebor, until the darkness fell. Yet things might have gone far otherwise and far worse, when you think of the great battle of Pelennor. Do not forget the battles in Dale and the valor of Durin's folk. Think of what might have been Dragonfire and savage swords in Eriador, night in Rivendell. There might be no queen in Gondor. We might now hope to return from the victory, here only to ruin and ash. But that has been averted, because I met Thorin Oakenshoot one evening on the edge of spring in Bree, a chance hunting, as we say in Middle-earth.
Gimli, Gloinson, is renowned, though he was one of the 9 walkers that set out with the ring, and he remained in the company of King Elessar throughout the war. He was named Elfriend because of the great love that grew between him and Legolas, son of King Thranduil, and because of his reverence for the Lady Galadriel. After the fall of Sauron, Gimli brought south a part of the dwarf folk of Erebor, and he became lord of the Glittering Caves. He and his people did great works in Gondor and Rohan. For Minas Tirith they forged gates of mithril and steel to replace those broken by the Witch King. Legolas, his friend, also brought south elves out of Greenwood, and they dwelt in Ithilien, and it became once again the fairest country in all the Westlands. But when King Elessar gave up his life, Legolas followed at last the desire of his heart and sailed over the sea. Here follows one of the last notes in the Red Book. We have heard tell that Legolas took Gimli Gloinson with him because of their great friendship, greater than any that has been between elf and dwarf. If this is true, then it is strange indeed that a dwarf should be willing to leave Middle-earth for any love, or that the Eldar should receive him, or that the lords of the West should permit it. But it is said that Gimli went also out of desire to see again the beauty of Galadriel, and it may be that she, being mighty among the Eldar, obtained this grace for him. More cannot be said of this matter.
The end. That was a tale of Durin's folk. Thank you for listening.